You can still eat the things you like, but eat it with moderation, proportion, and know what you're compromising and sacrificing.
One of the hardest things for dieting for me was finding a way to not be hungry and not snack on things. I realized that if there's snack in the house, I'm probably going to eat it. One of the first steps I try to do is not have snacks in the house.
No self-control.
I mean, there's some self control up in there, but generally speaking, if a snack is there and I get really, really hungry, I'm not sure if it's a hunger or if it's what it is, but it's like,
Right.
it's a craving. It's a craving. I want to get that snack. I want to eat it. Right. And sometimes it's just a couple of pieces of chips or whatever, or one piece of chocolate. But 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, I want another piece. Right. So one of the best things I ever did was, and I still do, not always, but I still do my best, is try to keep snacks to a minimum, if any at all, in the house. And if I do bring snacks, I've tried to be a little more considerate on what kind of snacks it is. So if I am going to have a nice snack, I'm going to have either very little of it at the house, or I'm going to have something that's kind of lower calories, a little more reasonable. So that's one. The second piece has been in my diet of when I eat and what I eat. I found it a lot more effective to drink coffee in the morning. It helps me avoid hunger. So what typically happens is if I wake up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and I have coffee by 8 or 9 o'clock after I get back from the gym, um, I don't really have to eat or I don't feel hunger until like 12. And my first meal will end up being sometime after 3 p.m. And I do try to make sure that that meal has pretty high protein because the more protein your meal has, the more you will feel full for longer. You feel what they call satiated longer. So it just naturally makes it so your second meal ends up being much later in the day as well. And the second meal ends up being my last meal of the day. So it kind of caps the amount of calories I eat for each day. And that's the biggest thing. That's the most important thing that worked for me, Kiana, is so that pattern has helped me a lot because I can control the amount of calories. And I don't calorie count like a lot of people do. But I do know that, okay, if I have 2 eggs and this and that, I know it's about a 500 or a 700 calorie meal. If I had some kind of meat, I know this how many calories it is. So I know generally, all right, all that put together, I'm under 2000
You're able
calories.
to
I can have a
eyeball it.
piece of chocolate. I eyeball it. Yeah. And then that means I can have a little piece of chocolate that's only 100 calories. So I'll have that and enjoy it. Uh, then I stay under. So that's worked out really well for me.
Yeah. So my diet is very different than Speros diet, completely different actually. For me, I think it comes down to the goal. Is your goal to lose weight? Is your goal to build muscle and bulk up? Is your goal to tone? What is your goal, right? So my diet has always been lose weight and then tone. But keep in mind, when it comes down those two things, the way you eat will be a little bit different. So for me, my first diet is losing weight goal. What did I do? I think I naturally had a really weird eating habit to begin with. I've always only ate between 12 to like 6 or 7. That's just how I've been my entire life from as long as I remember. So for me, breakfast is literally breaking fast. It didn't matter what time of day you ate. It's the first meal, right? So I do my workouts in the morning usually. Unless I don't have time, I always make time, whether it's middle of the day or end of the day. As long as it's under 2000, I was okay with it. But to be able for me to do that, one of the thing that reason why I counted was it was a training mechanism for myself to just know and be more self-aware or aware of how much a calorie is per product. And then I was able to eyeball it or remember it, right? Like on average, I know egg is gonna be 80 to 100 calories depending on the size. So you start to like know that and you'll be able to like see the size of chicken breast or the size of something else and know, oh, that's roughly gonna be 600 or some 100-calorie meal. You'll be able to know it. So you don't have to have to count forever. I was also very focused on the ingredients because if I was trying to stay, again, lose weight and healthy, I wanted to make sure I was putting nutritious items or ingredients in my body that I knew was going to be good for me. So I did try to avoid product. I switched into a product buying mentality that didn't, it kind of ideally had the least amount of ingredient possible and try to avoid ingredients that I couldn't pronounce. So we try to avoid a lot of fast making food and try to make more healthy kind of options at that point. Now, I ate basically once a day, sometimes twice. But when I say I ate once a day, it means I ate one fairly big meal. My meal consisted of the protein typically I needed with greens and fiber, with some type of carbs that I might need, complex carbs, whatever, quinoa, brown rice, sweet potato, things like that. It was a healthy meal a big meal. And then I may fill the fellows of the second meal one out with a protein shake or something light of a snack. So that was more of my day on almost every day. I had my one core meal. And that meal, I didn't really plan a time of when that had to happen. It was based on how I felt. If I was hungry at 3 p.m. and all day I didn't eat and I'm ready to eat at 3 p.m., I'll eat at 3 p.m. I also avoided eating past 7 because your body naturally, no matter how much you eat past 7, it needs at least a couple hours to digest fully before you go to bed. And so I did avoid eating past 7 from a bloating standpoint as well as digestion, just health perspective. Now, unhealthy products, say if I was going to eat chocolate or something of sugar or anything that's unhealthy, I always focus on that in the daytime. My weakness is chips. My weakness is potato chips. If potato chips is in the house, almost doesn't matter what type, I will eat it. I have no self-control when it comes to that type of stuff. So I do the same. There's one thing I do the same with Speros. I avoid having it in the house, but it is way harder for me to control that when I need to have snacks and options for the family size I have at the home too. So it just takes a lot of discipline. So what do? This is when calorie counting comes most effective. 13 chips on the back of the bag equals 150 calories. So I count 13 chips and that's what I eat and that's my discipline for the day. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you can still eat the things you like, but eat it with moderation, proportion, and know what you're compromising and sacrificing.
That's the
That was
hard part, though, isn't it?
it's
The
hard.
moderation part of the chip bag. Once you open that chip bag, it might go bad quick.
Yeah.
So you have a reason to eat
It's not
more,
even
I feel.
quick. I could sit there, eat a whole bag of chips if I didn't stop myself. So it did. It take a lot of discipline and try to find different ways. I know since that's my weakness, when I am going out to buy chips, I am looking for healthy versions of chips. I'm looking, okay, this is organic. Well, this is only 70 calories. Normal popcorn versus small popcorn. I'm comparing things while I'm approaching, trying to buy the best I guess you can say the best nutritional value in a bad product or snack, as well as being able to still indulge in those type of guilty pleasures. So you'll be able to find your way and figure things out. There's not everything. There are days you're going to be like, forget it. I'm gonna just sacrifice it and eat a chocolate bar. And then you make it up. I think what's most important is you don't do that every day. When we say we splurge and we have our cheat days and moments, but we don't do it every day. It's not a consistent daily thing. It's not even a consistent weekly thing. It's not every week I'm gonna splurge and eat a bar of chocolate. No. So it really depends on what you're willing to do for the lifestyle you want and the way you want to feel and the body you want. That was kind of my losing weight journey of the food I was eating. And then I had to make sure I had enough protein. I needed to get 100 to 120 grams of protein to be able to stay with building my muscle. And that was the toughest part for me because I can only eat chicken for so long. So the protein shakes came in handy. And then I got to the maintenance mode and building your muscle, which is going to be very different diet for me than when I was trying to lose weight. I just became a little bit more relaxed in my diet because I knew exactly at this point what I'm eating. I know the amount I'm eating. I know how my body will react to what I'm eating. So I know exactly what it is at this point. So I am more relaxed in the different products I eat. I still stay healthy. I don't eat as much processed or snacks or anything like that still till this day. But I am less focused on calorie counting at this point versus focusing on more of a hearty meal and knowing exactly that in this day, if I'm going to be eating this meal and eating out, I will be over my calorie deficit. But again, it is something that I am okay with because I'm trying to build muscle at this point. So I can be able to bulk up a little bit and then start toning myself. So my goals started to change. There are so many diets out there. Every single person know diet pills, diet routines, workouts, what is it, gluten diet or keto diet and all these other diet. The reason that it doesn't work for most people because it's not sustainable. And diets are not meant to work for everybody because we are all different with different bodies. So you have to be able to find your own diet and incorporate. And that may be like 5 different versions of a diet that you took one piece from and made it into your own and that works for you. So those diets, I never followed that because I know myself and my body better than anybody. It just won't work for me. I will be unhappy. And when you're unhappy, it doesn't work for you to stick to anything. When somebody's not happy and they're miserable, and food is my love language. Food makes me happy. I splurge and I love food. I'm a foodie. So that's something I'm not willing to sacrifice for the happiness of the enjoyment of food. I just had to find out what works. And you know how people have stress eating? This is something I noticed about me. When I am stressed, I don't eat. I'm the reverse. So when I'm stressed, I lose complete appetite. I don't eat, which is great. Because when I'm stressed, I lose weight quite a like a
Some kind
real
of gain out
habit.
of it, right?
Dieting is not easy. It's not easy for everybody, but it doesn't have to be hard to the point where you're like hating yourself and you don't want to eat and you're stressed out because you're not losing weight because you're eating things that's not happy. It doesn't have to be like that. You can
Yeah.
find like a happy medium.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, all dieting is just calorie deficit. So if you just kind of generally know I'm
Yeah.
eating this many calories and I'm burning this many calories, you just need to make sure that aligns. Either that means a little more gym, a little less food, a little more walking around, just get a little bit of basic workout, whatever it is. As long as you keep your calories intake less than the amount that you're burning, you're going to lose weight. So all these diets, all this workout, all everything revolves around one simple concept, which is just calorie deficit. So if you keep it simple like that, then you can kind of pick your diet that works best for you because it all revolves around, did I burn more than I ate today? Yes, great. I'm on my way. Maybe faster or slower, but at least you're on your way.
Yeah.